Hi, everybody. All right, as you can see, today is Tuesday, and first of all, happy Cinco de Mayo to all my Cinco de Mayo people, but don't drink and drive. But happy Cinco de Mayo. Hope you guys are having a wonderful Tuesday, and it is, of course, Tarot Card Tuesday, and I am, of course, the fabulous Leo Brown, and this is Tarot Card Tuesday. Okay, so last week we did a double whammy. We did the 6 and 7 of Staves, and that was all about, okay, that was all about triumph and heroism and instability and struggle and, defending yourself. And this time we are now going to focus on the 8 and 9 of Staves. Okay, so let's go into it with the 8 of Staves. So let's say you are reading for yourself, or you come to me, you go to my website, psychicleo.com, that's psychicleo.com, and you want a tarot reading. And say in the reading, this comes up, this card, okay, the 8 of Staves. So this card is all about important communication. Now, as we all know, the staves are all associated with the element of fire. So fire is conductive, it is destructive, but it also creates new pathways. And in this case, you're wondering about important communication. So let's just take it from a real life situation. Let's just say you haven't heard, and I get this all the time. I called Joe 3 days ago, and he hasn't called me back yet. So in the love and relationship spectrum. So if you get this card in the upright position, you're waiting on that important phone call from Mr. Joe. And you want to know what Joe is feeling, what Joe is thinking, where is he at energetically when it comes to this relationship? Where is it going? Because fire is also about transformation. Is relationship going to keep going and growing, or will it remain stagnant and stay the same? Now, so we're waiting on Mr. Joe. So this card is all about important communication, but it also is about unexpected communication, unexpected telephone calls, surprise letters, and it kind of releases, it gives you, the important communication that you receive gives you that aha moment you need, or that, oh, I see moment, like you get understanding. So in the case of you waiting on Mr. Joe to call you back, is basically when he does call you back and you receive his phone call, whether expected or unexpected, it gives you a moment of clarity. And you're like, oh, okay, now I see where his head is at. Now I know where we're going. Now I see why he's been putting the energy that he's put into our relationship or our courtship or what have you. Now, this card is also about, on a personal level, we're going to go into that. So let's just say personal development. This card is also about energetic movements. It's about, wanting to be, you're just a bundle of energy, and you have so many creative ideas. And because let's not forget that fire is a very creative element. Fire is the element of creativity. So, of active creativity, I'll say that. So, you have so many ideas and so many things you want to do, and you're just bursting with energy. You just feel great. So let's look at it from the standpoint of, okay, I've lost weight. Let's go into the health spectrum. I've lost weight. I now feel great about myself, and I have so much energy in my life. It's like, oh my God, I can move around and not be winded. I don't feel stifled by my weight anymore. I feel really, 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 really good. Not to mention my clothes are fitting better and I look better in and out of them. So it can mean that as well. It also can mean just quickness or suddenness, just in general in your life. So let's just say, let's take on career. So let's just say 1 minute, you're doing well, you're thriving in your career, and the next minute, just like that, within the next week, you feel burnt out, you feel so drained. So it comes on quick, it's very sudden. Or changes within the work environment happen really, really quickly. So it can mean that as well. Let's see. And also, let's just say you're doing some work on, say, your family tree, because this card also deals a lot with family and community. Because if you look at fire from another perspective, the element of fire is really a very communal kind of thing. Just think about it. What do we do when we're camping? We gather around a fire, right? And before you know it, you're drinking, you eat s'mores, you're telling ghost stories. So it's a very communicative kind of element. So let's just say you are doing a research project on your family tree, and you've always wondered, okay, why are we so distant? Why are we so volatile when we come together for a reunion? But then as you do more research into your family background, you start to see patterns. And it's like, oh wow, okay, this is things I didn't know. Unknown information that finally makes sense. It kind of pieces everything together. So that is the Eight of Staffs in the upright position and what it could possibly mean if you get this card in a reading. Okay, now, if you get this card in reverse during a reading, if you get it in reverse during a reading, it can also mean that when it comes to communication, you're waiting too long. Let's just say you've applied for a job and you've done the application, you've had your first interview, because I know that with certain jobs you may have a series of interviews. So you have your first interview and you're like, okay, all right, it's been 2-3 weeks now. What the hell's a hold up? So in this case, in reverse, it means you're waiting too long. It means that basically you have to take initiative and create a wave and say, look, do I have the job or not? Come on, don't keep me in limbo. And it also can mean that, let's just say you're having a family issue. Say you and your siblings are not getting along. And, there's been a lot of family secrets that have been revealed. And you're like, you know what? Someone has to be the one to spearhead our healing, our coming together. And yes, it may create confrontation, but it is necessary. So it can mean that as well. Now, when it comes to relationships, it can mean that you are very passive in your relationships. It can mean that you wait for someone else to make the first move. Like, take for instance, there's a guy you want to go out with, but instead of you taking the initiative and saying, you know what, let me ask this person out, you become passive and you're waiting on them, and it never ever happens. So your energy is just lying there in state. So it can mean that as well. And those are just some of the meanings that the Eight of Staves can mean if you get it in a reading in the reverse position. Now, the Eight of Staves actually correlates with the Triumph card of strength. So it's all about taking initiative, taking personal strength, basically kicking ass and taking names, basically. But it also shows you that it's really up to you to kick ass or take names, or to just let people kick your ass and take your name, So it's totally up to you what you choose to do. Now, we're going to go into the Nine of Staves. Now, the Nine of Staves is all about, let's see, it is associated with the Triumph of the Hermit card. So it's all about going within, but from a energetic perspective. It's all about looking around and being observant, things like that. Now, if you get this card in a reading and it is in the upright position, there we go, I'm sorry about that, in the upright position, and it's the Nine of Staves, it means that, let's just take business for instance. Business right now is great. I mean, you can't put your phone down. Like, it's that busy. You're being bombarded with calls and requests and orders, and you're doing so well, and you're doing personal appearances and all this great stuff. But it could mean that this, my dear, is only temporary. The success you're getting is temporary success, meaning that eventually it will slow down. Like fire, all things burn out. So it means that eventually things may slow down. Now, it also can mean on a personal level that you need to slow down. You are burning yourself way too thin. You're lighting your candle at both ends, and it's not healthy. And it's probably telling you, okay, you need to sit back and relax and rest and not focus so much on work, on money, on things like that. Just focus on yourself. Come back to you a little bit. Now, this also can mean from, let's just say, not career, but let's just say love and relationship perspective. Now, you guys have dated, you've courted, you've done all these wonderful things, and everything is great. And, you've talked about marriage, you've talked about getting married, living together, and one of you may feel like, okay, we're getting there, but it's so far away. We're getting to that point where we may become one, we may get married, we may get engaged, but it feels like it's so far away. So the goal is almost completed. And even from a health standpoint, you've lost 30 pounds. Your goal is to lose 50. So you have to lose 20 more. And you're like, okay, I've been working out. I've been eating healthy. I'm not eating, late anymore. I'm not eating chicken wings, even though Pizza Hut has Wing Wednesday. I'm not eating, chicken wings no more. I'm doing really, really good or really, really well. And you're like, okay, but these pesky 20 pounds are not coming off. My ass is not any, smaller. I still have this butt. So, but I say love the skin you're in, but that's just me. So it can mean that as well. Now let's take it from a home and family perspective. It also could mean that right now, you need a moment to be by yourself. You need a moment to separate from people, whether it be family or friends, who don't have the best interest for you at heart. It can mean that as well. So you're kind of putting up a wall. And you don't mean to, but you do. And like I said, this is tied with the hermit card. So, if you look at anybody who's a bit of a hermit, they're kind of guarded. They don't let people in very much. And that's because they feel, okay, you know what? I can't really trust you, so I'm not going to give you my energy. And in the Nine of Staves case, that's what's going on here. That's why you may feel like, you know what? I love you, but we are completely different people. My viewpoints are not your viewpoints. So I'm going to distance myself from you. It doesn't mean I don't love you, but I'm going to distance myself from you and from the situation so I can move forward. Now, as I was saying before, with the whole completion thing, so it just means that it also can mean that you're getting to your goal, but it just feels so far away. But when it comes to, say, family, friends, even work-related situations, you feel like, okay, you know what? It's time for me to separate myself from negative energy or people that no longer serve me. And so you put up a wall. And that's also because you feel like, you know what? You support me, but you don't, Now, on the flip side of this, the Nine of Staves, let's see. On the flip side, on the reverse end of it, if you get it in reverse, the Nine of Staves is all about you need a break. You need to give yourself a vacation. I'm going to call this the vacation card because really and truly, that's really what this is all about. Because if you look at energy, you know how we always say, oh, I just feel worn down. Nine of Staves is all about that too. You may feel overwhelmed, either by work, by family, by friends, by your relationships. You may feel like, you know what, I just need a moment to be by myself. Leave me the hell alone. Okay? Or it also can mean that you're not accepting your responsibilities. Let's just look at it from a relationship perspective. So say you have a mother or a father, they have a kid, but they're not fully taking responsibility for their child. They are kind of like, okay, I know the child is there and I know the child needs to be taken care of, but I'm not there. I'm not fully, ready to accept full responsibility for this child. So it can mean that as well. And it's a denial, or let's just say you have a home improvement project and you need to go up and clean them gutters. The roof needs to be fixed, but you're like, it'll get done. So in other words, procrastination. So it can mean that as well. And these are just some of the meanings that the Nine of Staves can mean in the reverse position. So as you can see, we have done the 8 and 9 of Staves in the Tarot series in Tarot Tuesday. And next week, we will be doing the 10 of Staves, and we will be completely done with the Staff series. And remember, Staves are associated with fire. So fire is creative, fire is conductive, fire is instinctive, And fire is energetic and most of all transformative. So remember that. And for all of you who may feel overwhelmed or energetically kind of low, maybe the universe is telling you you need to relax. Okay? But and don't deny that you got things going on, but at the same time, don't sit up here and deny that you're tired. It's okay to do that. Once again, this is Leo Brown, the fabulous Leo Brown, and this was Tarot Card Tuesday. We have done the 8 and 9 of Staves. I will be back next week with the 10 of Staves, and that will be the final card in the Staff series. Then from there, we'll move on into the arrows, and then after the arrows, we'll move into the coins of the series, and then from there, we're gonna move into numerology. Yay! I'm really excited about the numerology series. That's going to be a lot of fun. Because I love numerology, by the way. And I am a numerologist also. So, love numerology. But I could go on about that. But anyway, I thank you guys so much for watching, for supporting my videos. I hope you guys like the fact that I'm doing a double whammy. I'm kind of like, knocking them out. So, I hope you guys like it. If you have any questions, if you want to leave a comment, you're more than welcome to. I read them all. I really do. Even the negative ones, I read them. And I even try to respond to them. So do not be afraid to leave a comment. It means a lot. Until next time, I will be back next week with the 10 of Staves. And this was me, the fabulous Leo Brown. And I will see you guys again next week. Be safe, love yourselves, and once again, happy Cinco de Mayo. And please do not drink or drive. Bye.